In this video, we're going to create a full website using Oxygen Builder. Hi, my name is Stratos and I'm constantly producing video tutorials about WordPress. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. This is a basic tutorial. It's for beginners. If you already know how to use Oxygen, then maybe this is not for you. But if you have just bought Oxygen and you do want to know how to use it, so maybe this will help you put some things together and understand how it works. So we're going to create a website. We're not going to go deep into utility classes, custom CPT, ACF fields, dynamic fields, and everything like that. There are other videos that I have in the channel and also, of course, in other channels that you can learn. But I wanted to create a beginner's guide to Oxygen because the Oxygen group is growing and I would like to help more people understand how it basically works. You can follow along everything in the video and I'm going to tell you how. So basically this is a starter template from Astra and you can create a website like that by using a local program like the local by Flywheel or any other program. Even if you don't have a domain name or a website or a web hosting company, you can create this in your own computer. So you can just go ahead and install the Astra theme, and then it will ask you to install and activate the starter template, and then you can just go into Elementor and hit the first website. I think that was the second with mountains, and this is the one that you're going to get. So once you install this, you will have all those photos in your WordPress website. And this is why I installed this, because I want to recreate this. I'm not going to duplicate the exact same website. I'm not going to bother with how much is this pixels, how much is the gap between those two. I'm not going to see which exact font is using. I'm just going to show you how you can choose your fonts, how you can choose everything else, your colors, but I'm not going to duplicate the exact same website. I'm going to use that to have something to build. And as you can see, these buttons don't work. So as you can see, it has a pound symbol here once I hover, so they're not working. So this is the website that we're going to build, and this is the home page. This is the contact page. And this is the home page, sorry, and I think because I have disabled the Astra theme, it has some problems with the menu. Let's go and see the menus, and let's go and just hit that primary, save that, and now once I refresh I have the correct menu. Yeah, so this is the about page. This is the page that we're going to recreate. Also services, this is the services, and we have also a contact page. So the four basic pages that we're going to recreate. Let's go and start by taking some numbers just to have something to compare. Again, this is not to compare Astra or Elementor against Oxygen. If you have seen any videos that are out there or see anything, you should know that Oxygen is way faster than Elementor. Don't bother to recreate the same website just to see how much faster it is. Believe me, Oxygen is way faster. So let's open all those pages because I'm going to deactivate the Astra theme. So this is the home page, then we have the about page, then we have the services page, and then we have the contact page. Okay, so let's go to the back end and let's go first to the appearances themes, and I'm going to start by activating this theme, the 2021. And once I activate it, I'm going into the Astra and I'm going to delete that. Okay. And now let's go into plugins, install plugins, and I'm going to select those two. I'm going to deactivate that and then delete those two. I'm going to keep the WP4 because I'm going to keep that form that I have already created. If it was my website, I would not use the WP forms, but since it's already activated, installed, and a form created inside that, I'm going to use the same one. So after that, let's go to the settings and permalinks, and be sure to check the permalinks that you have selected the post name. Hit save changes and we're ready to begin. Let's go into the plugins, let's go into add new, and here we're going to install the Oxygen 3.6.1, which is the current version. So I'm going to hit upload, and here is Greek, sorry for that, but let's go and upload by dragging and dropping inside here. I'm going to install now. Let's wait. Okay, it's installing. And I'm going to hit activate. So we're going to start by going into pages, all pages. And here, if it was a clean website, I shouldn't have any pages inside here. So I'm going to select all of those and I'm going to move those to trash. And I'm going to hit apply. Then I'm going to post, all post. And if I have anything, I'm going to trash it. Remember to delete, always delete the hello world. And then let's go to comments just to see that we don't have anything inside here. So now that we're okay, let's go to appearance themes and just delete, not themes, appearances and menus, and just delete the menu that you may have here. So here I have some pages inside the menu, so I'm going to delete those. Remove, save menu. And if you don't have a menu here, you can go ahead and create one menu, give it a name like navigation or main menu or something, and hit save. So I'm going to name it main because I like to name the main menu as main, and hit save menu. So now I have only one menu. Let's go into pages, all pages, and I'm going to open that 4 times, and I'm going to create the 4 pages that I want. So let's go here. And I have the home page. I'm going to hit publish and hit again publish. Now keep in mind that if you hadn't delete this, the pages, the URLs would be home -2. So this is why we delete the pages. And let's go and make the next one, which is the contact. Okay, publish and publish. Next one is about. About, publish and again publish, and the last one is services. Okay, now that I'm finished, I can go back to my pages and I have all my pages here. If I go to media, I should see all the images here. Okay, so we're okay with images. And now let's go into appearances and menus. I like to create first the pages and then the menu, because once I go and create the main template, I want to have a menu already created so I can play with the settings of the menu. And this is how I used to work. So I'm going to select all of those. I'm going to add those to the menu. And now let's go to home. Let's put that on top. Then we have, what was it? Let's open one. Home, about, services, and contact. So this is home, this is the about, services, and contact. I'm going to save that. And now we're going to Oxygen and templates. And here I'm going to create one, add new template. So I'm going to name it as main. This is the template that it will be used in all the websites. So even if you are going to create other templates like the post template, that the archive post, all other templates that you are going to create, you have to have a main template also. You can name it as you want, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to hit publish here, and then I'm going to other, and I'm going to select the catch all. So where does this template apply? Catch all, which means all the website, across all the website. Once I hit save again, I can edit that with Oxygen. And now I will have here a black canvas where I'm going to work. So the first thing is I'm going here that says add, and I'm going to click that, and here are all the elements that I have. Here I have the helpers, WordPress, library, and reusable. So if you have used another builder, basically you should know how they work. You choose something and you drag it to the next window. Here in Oxygen, you cannot drag the element one to add it. You just have to click it. So I'm going to always start with the section, but because of the header section, they have created a template, an element that is basically for a header. So we're going to search for header, and this is the header builder. So once you're going to create the header builder, use this instead of the section. So let's add this, and now I have the header builder. Here I have the structure, and once I click it, I have the structure of the page. So I know that this is the body. If you're using the HTML, you may know what body is, but if you don't, this is the page. So what you see inside the page. Everything that is under here is exactly what you expect to see in the website. We have the header builder, which is this whole line, the whole section, this whole box, not until here, until the end of the page, from the beginning until the end. And then we have the header row. Once I click that, I have header, the row left, row center, and row right. Those three columns are what I'm going to use. Basically, in most cases, you will use something like a logo in your left, and then something as a menu on the right, and a button or something. And if you want to add other rows, so you can create also another row at the top with like icons for social or something, you can just click the header builder and add another row. So I don't want to create that, I want to create something like that. So what do I have here? Let's go into the header row. I cannot click the row left, row center, and row right, keep that in mind. I just click header row, and then I'm going add, and I'm going to add here an image. Now, before adding an image, because I want this image to have a link, I should also add the link wrapper, and I won't do that before. So I'm going to add the link wrapper, and this is like a div, and this div has also the URL capability. So if you click that, you will go into the specified URL that you have selected. So now inside this link wrapper, I can add anything that I want. The URL should be this one. So basically this means go to the home page, go to the home, the default domain. And I add this because I don't want to add the domain also. In case I want to change the domain or create a website in my local environment and want to upload that in another web hosting company, I can go and just upload everything without concerning about changing the domain names. So I'm just going to put here a slash. The target is self, it's not blank, because I want that to open in the same window. And then I can just go ahead and click add here and click the image. So I'm going to search for image, and I'm going to add the image. Once I add here, I can see now that I have a plus icon here, and inside the plus I have the link wrapper. This is what I used, and here inside the plus I have the image. This is the structure of the page. So basically this is like an HTML that you can view and know what you're building inside your page. So now that I'm in image, as you can see, it says here image. It has the image selected like blue with a blue color, and this is selected also. I can go and hit browse here, and I can select from the media library the logo that I have. So I'm going to select this one. I think this is the logo 1 dark. No, logo 1. Here is the logo 1. Okay, and I'm going to select the image. I'm not going to add, let's add the alternative text. So let's add the alternative text, logo 1. Okay, logo. Always add the alternative text because this is SEO importance, and select the image. So now I have the image, but because it's a white image in a white background, I cannot see it. After that, I'm going to also add the menu, but because I also want to make changes in the menu in white, I'm going to add just for temporarily I'm going to add a background color here. So let's go back to the header row, and I'm going for the background color that says here, and I'm going to select the black. So now I can see the image that I have here. I'm going to save because I want to save occasionally. And now I'm going to select again the header row, and I'm going to add, and then I'm going to select menu. We have two elements. We have the menu and the pro menu. I'm going to select the pro menu. And now, as you can see, it went here inside the row left because I cannot select the row right, but I just going and grab it and then drop it in the row right. You could also do that by grabbing it from here next to the name, but I usually do that in here in the DOM structure. So now that we have the Pro menu, I'm going to select, if you haven't done that, and now everything that you can see here is specifically for this element. Every time you select an element here, this is changing according to the element. Usually the advanced is the same in every element. If you hit advanced, we have the same, but this primary is something that is more specific to the element that you have selected. So the Pro element has some features that are used to edit in the menu. So we're going to select a menu. Of course, we have only one, which is the main. Here it says mobile menu, toggle below, which means if you want to do a toggle and change that to a mobile menu and you want to select to be in less than, I don't know, 992 pixels for this menu, it will toggle to a hamburger icon and it will change to that. So I'm going to select less than 992. This is something that you should choose depending on how wide is your menu. This is a small menu with just 4 links: home, about, service and contact. It's not a big menu, so I could go also in less than 768, but I'm going to leave it as it is here. After that, we have the desktop menu, and here I'm going to select and start playing with that. Now I'm going to speed up a little bit about the process because I want you to see how the workflow goes, but I don't want to create a video that will take 3 hours. So let's go to the typography and let's go and select here a font size. Here the font size will grab what I have selected in the global settings, but for this occasion I just want to change a little bit the size menu. Let's go for 16. And I think something like 16 or 17 is here. I'm not going to grab everything. So the color should be white, the color of the text, and then I'm not going to change any of this. The font family should be something that will be changed after that in the settings. We'll see it in a moment. And then let's go back. Let's go to spacing and align, and I'm going for item padding on top 20, bottom 20, and 15 and 15 here. So we have some spread, some distance between the items, and here I'm not going to select any other thing. After that we have the hover and active, and for that to change I have to go and grab some colors. So let's save that and then let's go into the manage and let's go into the settings. Here I have the global styles, which is very important for Oxygen, and this is something that you should done before starting create your website. Of course, I haven't created anything else. I'm just inside the main template and I haven't completed, and I can go and start playing. Let's go into the global settings, and here I have the colors, and I'm going to select the global colors. Let's select that and add the color, and the color name is basic blue or something. You can name it as you want, basic blue. So for basic blue, I will have something like this, something like this. And I'm going to copy that after I insert that. I'm going to add that color, and then I'm going to add another one, and I'm going to paste the same color, and then click here just to give it a little bit of more white. Okay, to have something a little bit more white. And this is like a hover. And then I'm going also to add a color, and I'm going to add another color that will be my off-white. Off-white is basically the one that you have between two sections that are both white. So let's go into services, and maybe we should see it here. So this is basically a white, not so white, but it's a white, and this is an off-white. It has a little bit of differences, as you can see. So I do need a color that will be not just like white, but it will make a difference between a white and that color. So I'm going to use this F4, and I'm going to name it off-white. Okay, and then add color, and we're good to go. We have 3 colors here. So let's save that, and then let's go back to the global styles, and here we have the fonts. So I'm going to fonts, And here I have the display font, which is for the headings. So I'm going to use the Robota, and I'm going to use the Roboto Mono, something like that. And then I'm going to weights, and I'm going to select 500 and 700. By clicking those two, it means that everything else will not be installed. I will only use these 500 and 700. I don't want to use any other weight. So let's click outside. No, let's click here in the weight, and it will go away. And then for the text, which is for all the text, all the paragraphs, I'm going to use Ubuntu Mono. And as you saw, it changed also the menu, because the menu uses the text font. And for weights, I'm going to use the regular and the 700. Okay, and save that. Let's go back to the headings. Now inside the headings, you can change the font weight and the font size for all the headings that you want. I'm not going to change at this moment, but here you can change everything. Let's go back and let's go for the body text. Here I'm going to put 17 here, 17 pixels, line height 1.7, and for the color it should go into black. Okay, and here font weight I'm going for 500. Let's go back for the links. You can change the color. I'm not going to. And then we have the width and the breakpoints. This is the page width, and this means how it's the width from the beginning of the logo until the end of the menu right here. And this is 1120. I'm going for 1200 pixels, and I'm going to hit Save Changes. If you are wondering what you should put here, put a number that is smaller than 1366, because this is the common width that most laptops have. Most average laptops have a width of the screen that is 1366. So go ahead and put something smaller, like 1300 if you want. So I'm choosing that because I want to have some space in the left and in the right of the screen, even if someone comes with an average laptop that has only the width of a small screen, like 1366 pixels, he will see a small gap between here and here. Let's go back, and here let's go into the sections and columns, and here I have the default section container with 75 and 75. This is where you can change anything. And then we have the animator scroll. Usually I put here 1000 milliseconds for the animation, and the animation easing is in and out, and here I only animate that once. So yes, disable on tablet and less screens. Delete, I don't put anything. Animation trigger offset, nothing. And anything else, I don't change that. Let's save that, and we're good to start. So let's go now and create another section that is here, and this section will be for the content of the page. So if I hit here add, I will need also another specific section for that, and this is called inner section. So basically this is where all the content of the page will go, and this is why we use the inner section. After that, let's go into the structure just to see that I have the inner content. Remember that inner content should not go inside the section. The inner content should go without the section, so it will not have any padding inside here. So I don't have any padding on any margin. I just have the inner content. Let's go and add another section, and this time we're going to use the section. And now, as you can see, the section goes underneath, but as you can see, it's just below the header because I don't have anything to show inside the inner section, and that's why this goes underneath the header. So don't worry about that at this moment. Let's go and see what is the header. Sorry, what is the footer. As you can see, the footer is a white section, so I'm going to also use the white color here. Background color, use a white color. And now I'm going back into the inner content. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to select sizing and spacing, and I'm going to select minimum height to be 7.5. And here, instead of pixels, I'm going to select viewport height. So this will push down my section at the bottom of the page. So even though I don't have anything inside here, the footer should always be at the bottom of the page. And as you can see, the image is not exactly at the bottom, so you can push it a little bit more if you want, like 78 or 80, something like that. But if you are adding all the pages with content, you don't have a problem. This is something that I do like to put here. So let's stick with the 75 and let's save that. And now let's go and select the menu again. So we are in the desktop menu, we are in hover and active, and I'm going to select the hover text color to be this one. This is the hover one, and the hover background is not. The active text color is this one. So it's not the same color. As you can see, this is the basic blue and this is the hover. And I don't want to change anything else. Now I'm going to save again. And as you can see, the one that is colored here is the services, because I'm previewing the services page. I can select here to preview the home page. Of course, nothing will happen in here because I don't have anything. And as you can see, now I have the home here. Now don't worry that that changed. This is like a bug or something. If I refresh here, I will see the correct image. Let's wait. Okay, and we're going to save that, and we're going to create something for the home page and then come back again in here. So I'm going to close the page and I'm going into all pages. I'm going to refresh because I have some pages here. Okay, and as you can see, now that I have changed the global colors, it says click here to regenerate the CSS cache. Now this is not something that it's important for me because I haven't created any pages with CSS cache, but if you see that, just click it. It will only take a few moments. It will regenerate the CSS cache and it will go away. So as you can see, it's all done. And let's go back to pages, all pages, and we're going to start building. So let's go into home page and edit with Oxygen. I'm going to open that in a new page. And the only thing that I'm going to create here is just the first section, because I want to go back and change a little bit the header, and I'm going to make that to be transparent. So let's go back to this one. And what is this? This is the page how it looked before, so I'm going to close that. I just want those 4 pages. Okay, let's go here. And let's go, and now since we are inside the page, the home page, here I'm going to select add, and this is how you always start and create your first section. Okay, now that I am here, I can just hit structure also, because I want to see all the structure of my pages. And here inside the section, I'm going to click advanced, I'm going to click background, and I'm going to click browse, and I'm going to select this one. And this is something that I didn't want to see. I don't like that the text is inside the image. I didn't know that it would be like that. So as you can see, if I grab and put that here, they have created an image with the text, and as you can see here, the buttons, which is not good. If you create an image and put the text inside that, then the search engines cannot see the text. They can only see an image. So this will not be identified by any search engine. Also in the mobile, it will not look too good. So it will not take a good quality. You cannot change the text, and you cannot change the font size. So I'm guessing the Astra team did that because they wanted to save some time, but it's not ideal to do that. So I'm going to move that up and put that where it was. And I'm going to use the same image because I don't have any other image for that. And let's see, as I can see here, the buttons are working. So let's see if they do have another image here. Let's see in the browse if they have another image. Okay, I don't see any other image that they have. So let's see something else. I'm going to open that, and let's start Astra, starter themes. Okay, import starter, and I'm going to select the same website. This is the one. And I'm going to click here and save. No, I cannot save. Let's go and inspect. Sorry again for the Greek. So I can see I can inspect the image, the H1 classes. So it's not exactly what I was saying about. They do have an image here. So let's go and see where is the image. Okay, this is not the image, the same image. So I don't know what exactly they have created like here, so I'm not going to search for that image exactly. I'm just going to delete that, and use another image. Hopefully they have enough width for us to use something else. So this is 86 kilobytes with 1200 pixels width. And I'm going to use something like that. Okay, it's not identical, but it's close enough. And here you should also have something for the alternative text. And now I have an image here. After that, I'm going to select to be cover, so it will cover the whole section, and then no repeat. And I'm going to select here if you want to change the position that it's for the focal point. I'm not going to do that at this moment. So let's go and add here also a text. So inside the section, once it's blue, as you can see here, I'm going to add here a heading. And here I'm going to go into the page and I'm going to select this one. Let's go back to the page and let's triple click it and paste that here. So multi-purpose template, and the text color is white. And now I can select the tag and put that into tag H2. After that, I'm going to select back the section and I'm going to select the child element layout to be vertical and then center. So now I have that in center. Let's go and add the H1, which is create your website, and I'm going to select this one and then add and select heading. So this way the heading will go beneath the item that was selected because it cannot go inside. So click here and create your website. I'm going also to put the text color into white. Now, a very good trick that you can do is, since you want all the text to be in white, you can go into the section and select for the whole section to take the text color and be in white. So as you can see, I selected white and this changed into white. Now, once I also add the text beneath that, it will go and add also a text into white color. So I'm going to grab that and I'm going to put that here. Triple click that and paste that. And where does it break? Under the neck. Okay, neck. Where is the neck? Neck, here's the neck. So here, add the break. Okay. And now I can go also into advanced and typography and select to text align in the middle, something like that. Now I can just click here and then add some margin. So I want to put something like that and then something like that. Again, you should put the same margin, and as you can see, something like that. And if I go to advanced sizing and spacing, I can see that margin is 25. Let's go for 40. And let's select that also, advanced margin. And let's go again for 40. And then here, advanced margin. And I'm going for 40 because I also do want to add some buttons here. Now, as you can see here, the buttons are one next to the other, so I want to have them stacked vertically, horizontally. But since I have selected this section to be stacked vertically, if I add two buttons under the text, let's go and add two buttons, button, and duplicate that. You can see now that at this moment the buttons are going one under the other. So I want something to change the alignment. I want basically a div. The div, as we have said, is a box, and what I can do to add a div here is go ahead, select that and add a div, and then drag and drop those inside here, or I can select into the button and select here and wrap it in the div. It will do the same. Let's go and add the div and do it with the hard way. Add div. So the div is here, so I can grab this and put it here, or I can go and select that and drag this inside the div like that. And then, as you can see now, the button is inside the div. I can do also the same thing with dragging this button from here or from here. You can do whatever you like. So now that I have then both buttons inside the div, I can select the div and select this to be stack elements horizontally. So now it will go one next to the other. So I will have something like that. And the one is services. Triple click it. No, Control A. Okay, services. And the other is contact, I think, about us. Okay. About us. Okay, now I need some space between those two, so I'm going to click this one, the left one, and I'm going to advanced and sizing and spacing, and I'm going to put here like 40, something like that. As you can see, I have a little bit of space and a little bit of space here. I'm okay. I don't going to replicate, as I've said, the exact same thing. So now I need something like this hover effect. So I'm going to click the first button, services, and here I can create something like a class, a CSS class. Basically, the CSS class is something that you can create, and then whatever element has the same class, it will take the same layout. And I'm going to add that because I know that these images may be used in another section. So this is something that you may use somewhere else, maybe here. You can see that this is the exact same thing, the same layout, and this may be also used somewhere else. So what I'm going to do now is going to select here, to click here in the ID, and now I'm going to type something for the class. So usually I put here the page first, so this is the home, then I put the section, this is the head, the hero section, and then I put the element that I'm talking about, and this is the services button, services button. There are many ways that you can add classes, but keep it something that you can remember how you can structure your layout. Okay, so this is how I used to work. So I'm going to click here the enter or the add class, doesn't matter. And once I hit that, you can now see that the class is now selected, and everything I do changes for the class. Every other element that has the same class will take those changes simultaneously. So here I want to go into the advanced background, and I'm going for background color, and let's see if it changes. And as you can see, it changes. And if I go to white, I can see that it's white. And here I'm going for 0, so it will be transparent, something like that. After that, I have the services that it's white here, and I need to put also something for the borders. So let's go back and let's go into the borders, and let's go to width 1 pixel, solid, and color is white. So now I have also the borders. Then I'm going to put a little bit of padding inside here. So let's go into sizing and let's go into padding, and let's go for 20 in the left and 20. No, let's go for 40 and 40. 40 and 40, and I have something like this. And once I hover, I want to change it to another color. As you can see here, once I hover, it changes to another color. So what I'm going to do now is going to select here the state. I'm going to select hover, and now I'm going to change what I want to be changed once I hover the button. So I'm going to background, and for the background color I'm going to select this one. So now I have this effect. And also I need something for the borders. So now that I have the white border, I'm going back, I'm going into borders, and I'm going to select the color to be this one. The width is again the same, 1, and solid. So now I have this background and this border. Once I change the hover to the original, I can see that it changes, but as you can see, it changes immediately, and I do want to do it smoothly. So I'm going back to the advanced, and remember that this should be done into the original state and not the hover. And I'm going into effects, I'm going into transition, and here I'm going to select the transition in seconds to be 0.4, something like that. So once I hover, I will see it smoothly changes into the color that I want. Okay, save that, because I do want to save it every time. And then let's go into the About Us, and I'm going to add a class here. It is Home, Hero, About Us button. Okay, and here I have advanced background, and I have the background color of this one. Okay, no, sorry, it's a white. So I have a white color with the text to be, let's go back, let's go into primary, and I have the text color here to be this color, the primary color, the basic color. And let's go again into the advanced, let's go in sizing and spacing, and here I'm going to put 40 and 40 for the padding. So it's nice, and now if I hover, I have to do the same trick with that, except for the borders. So let's go into the state, let's go into the hover settings, and here I'm going to go back, background, and select for the background color to be this one. And then the color, the text color should be white. So let's go back to the primary, text color, and white. The text color can be also changed from here, and this is the same. Have I changed the text color? Yeah, for the hover, of course. So once I hover, it should be changed. And now I don't see that changing. Let's see, save that, and if it doesn't, I will do that from the, yeah, not changing. So let's go into the state, let's go into hover, and here I'm going to delete that, and I'm going into the advanced. Let's go into typography and change the color into white from here. Okay, let's go and change that to original, and here we are okay. We also need the transition here, so let's go again into the effect, transition, and here I'm going to put 0.4. Okay, last thing is to put some margin inside the section to have it go nearly into the whole page. I can see that it takes the whole page. So I can go and put into the background, and as you can see here I have the background, sorry, not the background, sizing and spacing, and I can go and put some other container padding. Let's go for 250 and 250, and it pushes down, and here it pushes also down, but I can also go and select a height to be something like a full screen height. So you can do whatever you want with that. You can put 100% of the viewport height and it will take the whole space, or you can just go ahead and put some pixels here. That depends on how you want to create it. So I have something like this, and now I'm going to save that, and I'm going to go back into the main template just to create the transparency for the header. One thing that I also want to change, I think that it has a filter of a little bit of color, so I'm going to change that also. And to do that, I'm going to the section, I'm going into advanced background, and here I have the image overlay color, and I'm going to put that into this color that I have and give it a transparency of about 30, something like that. Maybe a little bit less. $25. Okay, save that. Of course, it's not the same image, so I will not have the same effect, but let's go and see. Also, I have the font is a little bit bigger, but I'm not going to change everything as I've said. I will not go and duplicate the exact same thing and create a 2 hours video. So I'm going to close the page because I don't want to have two Oxygen builders opened in the same time. And I'm going back to the Oxygen templates, and I'm going to open that, edit, and here I'm going to click open anyway and open. And now I'm going to select the header. Let's open the structure. And now into the header, as you can see, I have here the header row, and here I have the header builder. So the header row has a color at this moment. I'm going to delete that. And I'm going into the header builder, and I'm going to select the overlay. And the overlay should be at above 992. This means that it will take the overlay for the width that is more than 992. So basically, if you view it in a mobile phone, it will not take the overlay color. But if you do that, then it means that once you go from a mobile phone, you will see a white box here with the white logo. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to put that always. Of course, I'm not going to change the layout for the mobile phones. As you can see, the home is not viewable because it's not good for this image. So I'm going to change that. And let's go here. Let's go into, the colors. Hover and active. And let's delete that. So the hover text color is not going to change. And of course, the active color should not change either. Of course, keep in mind that once you start creating a website, you will always you will always make changes. You will see something, you will see that it would be better to do something else, so you will do something else here. You will change another thing, you will change another thing. You will see the front end, see that you have something to be better built. So you will change something else. Next time that you will see it, maybe a day after, you will see that you should also change something else. This is something that it's often done by everyone. So now that I have created the header, now I can just go into the footer, and here for the tag, I'm going to select here and select footer, and I want 3 columns, I think. 1, 2, 3, but it's not. Why they have created like that? Why didn't they put the About Us in the middle? I don't know. So let's go and create something here. So I'm going to add for the footer section. I'm going to click add, and I'm going to add columns, 3 columns. 3 columns. So as you can see, we have 3 columns. The columns is basically 3 divs. As you can see here in the section, I have the columns, and it's basically 3 divs, but the pro in here using the columns is that you can change the settings easier for the mobile version. So you can reverse the column order, you can stack those vertically if you want in the mobile phone. You can select the width and change things here easier. So it's not anything different than basically a div. We have the here the logo, we have the address, and we have some icons. So we have the logo. Let's go and add here the image and the logo. I don't think that they have any link, so I'm not going to put either. So let's go and add an image here. Image, I have the image. I'm going to select browse, and I'm going to select this, which is the logo one, dark. Okay, this one. Logo footer, and alternate text logo footer. Okay, select the image. Now that I have the image, let's put that in the left like it is. Let's go and add a heading. I think it's a little bit bigger than just the text. Okay, let's triple click it and paste that. Okay, and then select here something like an H4 and put a bit of margin like 20, and the color should be this color, the main color. Okay, and underneath that I have the icons, the contact icons. So basically I don't want to add just icons here, I want also to add a div so I can stack them horizontally. And here I'm going to add a div, and once I have the div, I can select to add the icons. So now that I have one icon, I can start changing the layout and then duplicate it 3 times. This is how you do it in Elementor and other builders. But here in Oxygen, we can use classes in order to create the icons, style them, and if we want to change them, we're going to change that once, and it will be changed to the 3 icons at the same moment. You don't have then to go and right click and copy and paste to the second and the third icon and then go inside all the pages. So now I'm going to select here, as I've said, for the classes, and I'm going to go for footer, because this is just for the footer, and this is the left column, left icon. Okay, once I have a class, I can now go and triple click and duplicate that and duplicate it again, and as you can see, it went vertical. So I'm going into the div, this div, and I can select now to stack those horizontal. Now I can go into the first icon again, as you can see now selected, advanced and sizing and spacing, and go and put a margin of 10 or something. And as you can see, that space went into both of those icons, in the three icons also. So let's go also and change the icons. Let's go into primary. I'm going to go for solid, and I'm going to go for a background color of this one. No, what was it? It's something like that, but it's a little bit transparent, something like that, I think. And then for the basic color we have this one, so something like that. Let's go for this, something like that. Okay, icon size 25 maybe, and space around it to 15, something like that. No, a little bit smaller, 10, maybe something like that. And let's go again, advanced sizing and spacing, and put here 30 pixels. Okay, so the first was the Facebook, then I don't know what is this, and I don't know what is this. I don't know what are those. Okay, so this is like a Facebook icon. Let's go into primary, and let's go for here, and let's select Facebook. Okay, something like that. Here I'm going for Instagram, and this should be Twitter. Now, if you wanted to put also the links, and you should put the links inside here, you should add those inside the link wrapper, or just add the icon and then click here that says link settings, and this will automatically add that in a link wrapper as you saw, and then you can go ahead and put the link that you want and click open in a new tab. Let's go and click cancel, and as you will see here, I have the link wrapper for the icon. And now I can go and select the icon, and for the target, blank of course, to be opened in a new window, so the visitor will not leave the this website. So now that we are okay with the first column, I'm going to save that, and I'm going into the next column, which is the About Us. Okay, and as you can see, the About Us and the Connect is identical for the layout. So I also can create some classes here and have them assigned to both of those. But just to speed the purposes of the video, just for speed, I'm not going to. I'm going to add a heading here, and I'm going to triple click it and select About Us. Was it About Us? About Us. Okay, and select here and put an H4, something like that. And underneath that, I have 4 pages: company profile, CR, intelligence, read articles, and media kit. All those pages don't have any link inside. They are linkable, but they don't correspond to any link. They don't follow anything. So here I can go and add, and instead of just a text and add to a link wrapper, I can go and select the text link. So it will add for me a wrapper and then a link text, a link wrapper, sorry, and a text. So it will do both of those at the same time. So now that I have added that, I'm going to add here a class just for the text. So we are in footer, and here are the linkable text. Okay, and I'm going to copy it 4 times, and I added the class just because I wanted to maybe add some margin beneath that, so I can do that more easier. Now that I have created that, I can go and duplicate that and drag that to the next one. And here also I can go into here and duplicate that and go here and put that underneath, and then duplicate that also. So we have something like that. And let's go advanced, let's go sizing and spacing and put here a margin of 10. And here the same thing, advanced, sizing and spacing, and 10. Okay, something like that. Now I want to change the this to connect. Okay, connect. Okay, and now I'm going to remove some padding from this section. Okay, maybe it's not so big like a 15, so let's go and put that, not 15 here, let's go for less, 10. Okay, let's go for 5, no, let's go for 2, something like that. Okay, save changes and we're okay. So text color, we are black. Not quite black, but I'm going to put that black. And now I have a line here and I have that copyright with Oxygen, powered by Oxygen, because Oxygen is the name of the website. Okay, so now I want to put another line inside here. Sorry, inside here. I want to put a line, another line. I'm not going to add another section, I think. And I'm going to add another section just to have the line across the whole website. I'm not going to change anything else. So let's go and add another section at the bottom of the page. And as you can see, this is the section. This section has a margin. So not a margin, sorry, a border. So let's go for a border top. Let's go for width 1. The color solid here is the style and the color is something like that. And it's not so it's a little bit of transparent, something like that, I think. Yeah, something like that. And then we have this one, copyright by Oxygen. Okay, so here I'm going to add a text, which text will say copyright by Oxygen. Remove the space, and we're good to go. Okay, the color of the text is not black, so select that and select this color, and now we can save, and we're now okay with that. After you have created the template of the main template, then you should go always into the section, as you can see here, and select the page to be for the next breakpoint. So here we have the below 1200 pixels. So here you can see that this is okay. Maybe it needs some margin on top. Yeah, it needs some margin. So I'm going all devices and I'm going to select here, and I can see that this has a margin, but once I am here, okay, it has a margin, so don't worry about that, and this is okay at this moment. I think this is a little bit too big, so let's go font size and let's put 22, 20, okay, 18, something like that, and maybe put a little bit of sizing and spacing and margin here. Now remember that once you change that, you change only to this layout and those beneath. So I'm not going to change by adding anything here the old devices. So because I need a space also into the old device, I'm going to add it here. So let's go for 5 to have a little bit of breathing room, and let's go here and we'll see we're okay. So everything is okay here. Let's go to less than 992, and here I have the icon here, and now I have the menu right here. You should go and put that in white and change that. I'm not going to do that in this video. Everything is looking okay here, and let's go to less than 992. Okay, this is looking good. Okay, and then let's go and see here. So here this should not remember that we're just changing the header and the footer now not the section inside, because this is from the home page. So this is okay, but this should be changed a little bit. I think this should go to be like 17 or something like that. This is okay, this is okay, and this should go a little bit less, like 17. So let's go for font size 17, something like that, and this should go, I don't know, 13, something like that. Okay, save changings, and now I can close the main template and go into the page again, all pages, and now I'm going to continue building my home page. Let's go and edit that, and let's go and open it with the Oxygen. Let's see what are going to do next. So after that we have the services, as you can see here, and once you have a little bit of effect. So underneath that, let's open the structure. We have only one section, as you can see. The header and the footer is not something that you can see here, and as you can see, this is something that I should put here a Z index feature, and this is why I lose the header, because this doesn't have a Z here, but I think in the front page it will look okay. Let's visit that just to see it. Refresh. Okay, and this is because I haven't selected which page should be displayed in the home page. So let's go into settings, let's go into the discussion, into the reading, and here I'm going to select here static page and select the home page, save changes, and now if I go and refresh the page, I should see also the home page and the header and the footer. But just to be okay, let's close first the Oxygen Builder. Let's close that. And let's go into the templates again, Oxygen templates, main template, edit, open it. Okay, all those things that they're saying, the popping up, is just because it wants to close every other page that has the builder open, and it wants that. So if you make a change, it will be across the whole website, because one thing can overlaps the other. So this is why you should always open one page at every time. So I'm going to select this section, the header. Let's go into structure, and as you can see, I'm going to select the header builder, and I'm going into the advanced. I'm going into the layout. And here I have the Z index, and I'm going to put here 1. 1 is higher number than what I have inside the section, because I have the hero section 0. So this will always be displayed. And let's save that. Let's close that. Close that. And let's go into pages, all pages, and open the home page again. Okay, now I'm going to open that again in the Oxygen. And let's continue building the page structure. Don't worry about that. Okay, and I can go and put the Z index of here in 0, but I don't think that this is a problem. And let's go into the next section. So I'm going to add a section. This goes underneath that, and I have here the services, which don't have any text. Okay, no problem. So we're going to add here 3 columns. Okay, and those 3 columns, let's go into section. Let's go and select the div, and this div can have a background, and this is what I'm going to choose after that. So first thing first, let's go and add here a class. So for the divs, I'm going to select the class, and this is the home page. This is the services, because it's the services section. Column div, column divs. Okay, going to add that. So now if I go and make a change and copy the class to the other divs, it will take the same style, as I've said. Okay, I didn't copy that. Okay, copy that, and let's go here and put here this style. and click here, and also this style here. Now that I have the same style, I can go into the divs and I can select now the width and the height. So let's go into sizing and spacing, and let's go for a height of 250 pixels, something like that. Now I can also go and change a little bit. Let's see what else we can do. As you can see, we have a little bit of padding inside here, margin inside, sorry. So I'm going into the margin and I'm going to select here to have a 20 margin. Now, because I select 20 margin, the one div went down here because the width of the margin is 33%. So adding the 20 pixels here and the 20 pixels here, it goes beneath the 100% of the width that I have here, so it goes here. So all I need to do is go into the width and put that like 30 or something of the width. Maybe a little less. Let's go and see. Okay, now this may confuse some of you because it's not changing, but this is because the ID of the element is has some numbers. So I have to go and select the ID now, and the ID has the width, so I have to delete that, and I have to go into the div also and also delete that and go inside here. Sorry, not here. Here, and select the ID again and delete that, and here I'm going to select again the ID and delete here the width of the ID. So now they don't have any width and they have only the width that I have set from the class, but I delete that. So let's go in 30 and let's put 31, 32, no, 31 pixels. Okay, so remember that if you change something into the class and not changing, this is because it has some styling in the ID or another class that you may have set. Okay, now that we are good, we can change a little bit of the height, to put a little bit bigger of height. Let's see. Yeah, it's not quite square, I think it's a little bit bigger. So let's go into sizing and spacing, and height, let's go for 300. And we're okay now. Now we do need a background here, but once I put a background in the class, it will take it to all three columns. And let's see that. Let's go and add the background. Here I have the forest, so let's go and browse. And here I have this forest, which is way big for a column background. But that is what it's using, and as you saw, it took the same background for everything. So I'm going to delete that, and here I'm going to select again the ID, but first let's check this div. Okay, and select here the div, and now I can select the background. So the background is into the ID, not the class, so it will only take effect for this particular element. This is something that you should understand, because this is crucial for working with Oxygen. The difference between ID and CSS and classes. Okay, not CSS, different in CSS, the ID and the class. So the ID is for a unique element, the class can be across elements. Selecting the div, clicking background image, selecting this one, and select the image. It will take this into the image, but as you can see, it's not quite the same. So I have to change here to cover and then no repeat. And here you can put 50% and 50%, change that to percent. So it will go and always show the center of the image. Once you do that, you can now change that to class, and everything else that you change, it will affect the other divs as well. So now I'm going to set the, let's go to primary and set the background color. It has an overlay color, I think, not a background color. Yeah, an overlay color, as you can see, it has a little bit difference once you hover. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to advanced, and I'm going for background and image overlay color, but I only want that once you hover. So I'm going to select here the state to be hover, and the image overlay color should be this one, but like that. Okay, let's go back to the original, and once I hover, it's not quite changing, but it's changing, but you cannot see it exactly here. It doesn't look too good in that image. So let's go and see if we can put that a little bit better. Let's go into advanced, let's go into sizing and select that. State, hover, and advanced. Sizing and spacing, no, cover, background. And here, let's put a little bit of darker. Okay, and let's go and see again, original. And it's not changing because apparently it has to be added in the ID because the ID overlaps the overlay color here. So let's go into the state, let's go and delete that, hover, okay. I'm going to delete that so it will clear the hover style that I did. And let's go into the ID and I'm going to advanced, sizing and spacing, no, background, image overlay color. Once I hover first, hover, and image overlay color is something like that, but with a transparency of 30. Okay, let's go into the original and see once I hover. Okay, the overlay color isn't working, it's changing the background again. And the thing that I have to do now is select the ID, advanced, sizing and space, background, and state, hover. So I have to select also the background image for the hover again. So select that, select image. And now I'm going to select here to be original. And now once I hover, it's working okay. So it doesn't matter that you may make some mistakes. Just try to understand why this is doing. It's a little bit difficult in the beginning, but you will always make mistakes. But as you make yourself better with Oxygen, it will be easier to understand what is fault and how you can fix it. So now that we have this set, let's go into the class again and select the particular div and add here heading. So once this is added, I'm going to select and see what it is. Service 1. Okay, service 1. So I have a service 1. Text color is white. And the heading color is let's go for tag h3, okay, and change that to service 1. Service 1. Okay, now you cannot see that I'm also changing the others classes, but because I have the classes, I can now put that to be vertical, in center, and middle. So in all the three divs, it will go the same. This should be a little bit bigger. Let's go font size. No, let's change that to H2 and we're okay with that. Let's go to the next one, which is the service 2 and it has the cold mountains. Let's go into the ID. Okay, we are in the ID, advanced, background, and browse and select these mountains. Okay. Remember always to put the alternative text. Of course, you should put something relative, not what I'm doing here. Cover, no repeat. Okay, 50%. This should be duplicate. And one more time. And here I'm going to put that here. And this should set service 2. Okay. And once I hover, it should change. So I have to go into the div again and advanced. Sizing, not sizing and spacing, background. And now that I have here, I'm going to select hover, state, and select also the same image. Select, cover, okay. And overlay color to be this one. And what I have selected here, I don't remember. Let's go and see. For the hover, it's 0.3, okay. So here, for the hover, advanced, background, so the background color is this one, but it's 0.3. Okay, original. Now as you can see, it changes to that. Of course, you have to go again and change also the effect to be transition of 0.4. something like that. Again, this also be a 0.4 effect, transition 0.4, okay. And now the last one, let's grab that and put that here. And here for the div, let's go here, advanced, and we have here this, okay, this image. Let's go background, browse for the image. I have this image, okay. And once I change the hover state, I have the same image, of course, not that one. And I have also the image overlay color of that one with the transparency of 0.3. We are here. Okay, and change that to 0. Okay. Original, and let's change that to attributes, to effects, transition, and 0.4. Save that. Okay, now I'm going to select this div and I'm going to select the class because I want that to be selected once I hit the mobile view, and all the changes that I'm going to make for the margin and the padding and the width will be affected to all three divs. Okay, now we are ready from here, but I also have to add, as I can see here, for the services have a link. So I can click here and put here the link. And I'm going to click X because I'm not going to add anything, but if you wanted, you can add the services. So click here, cancel, and click here, and cancel. So now I have link for all those three elements, and this is service 3. Not that it's important, but let's change that to service 3. Okay, after that I have here 2 columns, as I can see. Okay, and let's go and add 2 columns underneath that. So I'm going to select now the columns, and I won't select the columns because once I do that, the new element will go underneath the other. It will not go inside here, it will go underneath. So once I select these columns, as you can see, it went here in underneath that. I won't select here these 2 columns. Now we have 2 columns, and I want to put a little bit of space underneath that. So advanced, sizing and spacing, and put a little bit of margin, or do that by dragging here. Okay, we are 38. Let's go to 40, something like that. And now let's go and add here a heading and triple click it and put here this text. Okay, and delete the space and put that as H3. Amazing things for you. Okay, and then I have something like this text. Whenever you have text with spaces or grabbing text for Word, you can go and put here, let's click first the div. Of course, the reason that I'm clicking the div is for the element to go inside. I can go and select the rich text and double click it, and now I have this, what you see is what you get editor, and I can paste the text and it will grab the same space as you can see here. So it will add all the divs and everything else. But since I have like that, because I'm using and copying something like that, it will add nonsense to that. So I'm going to select the text and paste here the text. So now I have all the styling cleared. Okay, let's go to visual again, and you can see now how it looks. And let's save and close, and this is how it looks now. Okay, save. And underneath that I have a button, our history. Okay, so I have here under this, I'm going to add a button that says our history. Okay, and now once I click here for the button, I can select the class to be the same as it was for the hero services button. I think it was the services. The About Us. Yeah, the About Us. So hero, About Us button, select that. And once I do that, you can see that I have the same exact style in the button. The only thing now that I need something for the border. So I'm going to change a little bit this button. This doesn't have a border around it, so I need also a border here. So let's give it a space first. Okay, and let's see. Save it and let's see how it looks from the front end. Okay, and it has a border here at this moment, so I don't need to change anything else. Okay. Let's see what we have next. We have this call to action with this background. Okay, call to action. So let's go and do that also. We have another section then. Section, add another section. As for the section, you don't need to click into the sections because the sections can only go one under the other. You cannot have one section inside another section. So you should not. It's not something that you should choose the section and then click another section. It will always go outside. So inside this section we have to add a heading. Okay, this heading should go and have this text, but I think it should be white. Yeah, white. So I'm going to select this section, and for the text color I'm going to select white. So everything is going to be white inside here. Let's go into advanced and let's go into background, and here I'm going to select the same background, which is some mountains, of course. Background, and we have those mountains. Yeah, select that, and now you can see the text a little bit, and I have to put also a little bit of overlay color like that, but let's go to 50%, something like that. Okay, and as you can see now I have the effect that the image the image that I have, the background image, stays fixed. So I'm going here and I'm going to select cover, and here for the scroll I'm going to select fixed. This is a parallax effect, so it will stay fixed for the background, as you can see. Now this should also go in the middle, so select the sections, primary, vertical, center, and it will go into the middle. After that we have this text, and we have a button like that, the services button. Okay, so I'm going to select here the text, and I'm going to select add and select the text and triple click it and paste it. Okay, it does somewhere break. The tell us, okay, tell us here, enter and backspace, and then advanced typography and put that in the middle. Okay, I need some space like 40. Sizing and spacing, and 40 here. I need some space here for the margin, sizing and spacing, and 40 here. And I have also underneath that a button that says contact. Okay, contact, and the button has the same style as the home, and which was it? About us. Home, about us button. Something like that. Okay. No, sorry. It has like the services, not the about us. So I'm going to select here. I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to click again and select here. And we have the home services button like that. Okay. Underneath that we have a gallery. And I also should put here some space, and here I have some space for the section. Let's go into section, advanced, sizing and spacing, and here I'm going to put 150 and 150. Okay, and now I'm going to add another section, and this section should have a gallery. Okay, gallery. So the gallery has 6 images, all mountains, of course, and let's go and select the browse for the images and select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now because I haven't selected the same 6, I'm going to, because I want to take the same size of the image. So I have the mountains, the house mountains, so I have this one. Okay, let's see, do I have this one with the, yeah, I have the lake, I have this with the river, I have it. Okay, I have this with the sky, and this is one. Okay, I have this, and no, I don't have this one. Okay, The next one was that with the persons. Here I have it. I have this and I have this also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's create the gallery and insert that. And let's change that to the layout. So have we a link for the images? Yeah, we have the link for the images, as you can see. Okay, we have a link. So here we have a link images, yes. We have lightbox, yes. Thumbnail resolution, we have, I think it's medium or medium large. We were going to see later. Let's go for the layout. We have 3 images per row. 3 images per row. And the space, I think it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. But I need to change the medium to medium large. Okay. So how well the resolution is for the thumbnails. I'm not going to put a large or something like that because I don't want that to be affected to my image settings. So let's go and save. And of course, these are not in the same row. I should change the row, but I'm not going to change anything at this moment. If you want to do that, you just have to go and to browse these and change that, or change from the ID. As you can see, the 20 is the first one, and change how you want. So let's save that again, and let's see what we have next. Okay, we only have to change now the background color. So let's go into the settings. Here I have the section and the background color is an off-white color, something like that. Let's save that so we have that effect against the footer, as you can see here. And now let's refresh the page and see what we have done. So we have the hero section, as you can see, with everything else. We have those services, we have that with the button, we have the call to action with the button, we have the images, and then the footer. So now we can test the exact same page against the GTmetrix that I did with the Elementor. GTmetrix, okay. Test, just to see what we're going to get. And let's see if the images, this is working, the link, yeah, it's working, okay, we have the link and everything else is fine. Next, we're going to create the About Us page. And again, you can see now that I don't see the header, but it's there. I don't have anything against contrast to see the header. So let's go here and see what we have for the settings, for the times. So we have 1.7 against the 1.1 with Oxygen, 137 megabytes for the total page for Oxygen, and here we have 134, which is close enough because we're using the same images. It should be identical, but as you can see, this is a little bit bigger because I have a little bit different image, I think, for the hero section. After the image, everything else is okay. And here I have 43 requests for Astra and Elementor, and I have 29 requests for the Elementor. And of course, I don't have any caching enabled to any of those themes and builders. Okay, I'm going to close that because I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to go into this was the home page. Okay, I'm going to close that. I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to the About page, and this is the About page. Okay, so let's close that. Let's go into Pages, let's go into About page, open that, edit, and let's open that with the Oxygen. So we're going to start by using the image. Add section. Of course, the section should go up here because I have overlay for the whole website and not only the home page. So let's go into the structure to have it open. Let's go into the section now that we are, advanced background, and browse image, and we're going to select now this image because I think it have this enough space for that. No, it grabs also the some hero section. Okay, some header. So not this image. What was the image that we used? Was it this one? I don't even remember what image we used for the homepage. So let's go here and let's see. Okay, this one, that was it. So this was the image. and I think this is the image that is using for the homepage, but it's using filters. Yeah, I think it's using the filter. Okay, so let's select that image and let's compare it to that. It has the same mountains or not? Yeah, I think this is the one, but it has a filter. So I can select that, and let's go now into the cover, and let's go for the left 50% and 50, and let's put that percentage and percentage so it will go up, as you can see here. Okay, and I'm going now to go and select to have an overlay color of this one and put that of around 50. Save that, and I think it's quite okay. So maybe put here 80 to push it a little up. And I think we're close enough. We don't have the same color, of course, but I think I'm close enough. So I can also go that and change that to the home page as well. So now that I have those settings for the section, I can do the same section and create for the other pages. Of course, not the home page because I need more space, but I can do that also for the other pages. We're going to see how it's done. So let's go into advanced, let's go sizing and spacing, background, and here I'm going to browse and select the last image, this one. Okay, select that, and I don't have an alternative text set. I need to do that. And I need to put a little bit more contrast here. Let's go for 50%, like that. Okay, save that. And I think we're almost okay. Maybe a little bit more contrast. 60. Save changes. Okay, close that. And now that we are in the About page, here, About page, so we have the About title, I can go and select here and add heading. About. I don't need the space, okay. And now select the section again and select vertical, center. And this, as you can see, it cannot go now into the middle because I don't have anything up. But if I go and select to be horizontal, middle and center, it will go into the center. But I can select here to have, sorry, I have to remove that space here. So you can see that if I had a little bit more space, let's give the section a little bit more height. Let's go for height 500 pixels. So as you can see, the About is in the middle now, but this is something a little bit strange for the Oxygen. You can try it in another section. If you add here a heading and try to style that Elementor vertically, you will see that it will not go into the middle, it will go on top. But if then you try to stack that horizontal and then go into the middle, you will see that it will always go into the middle. So let's see how it's done. Once you add it, it will go like that, and you can go in center, but you cannot put that in the middle. But if I go and select the child's horizontal and then select middle, then I can go here. Sorry, I should also put here in center, and then I can go back to the vertical, and now it will stay in the center. I don't know why you cannot have those vertical alignment in the Elementor vertical layout of the section. Oxygen hasn't added that, but this is something that you can do here. So now that I have styled it a little bit, I will see that it's not the same. Okay, the About should be a little bit bigger, and also I don't think that this is 500 pixels. This is more than 300 pixels. So let's go with sizing and spacing, and let's go for 300 pixels, something like that. Maybe 400. Okay, we're going to put like that. The About should go white, but I'm not going to put that in here. So let's go to the section. Let's go to text color and put that in white. And now that I have styled that, I can go and add a class. So this is the pages title section. Now I have added the class, but I have styled the ID and not the class. And this is something that now I can do with Oxygen, and I can copy the ID, the style of the ID, and put that in the class. So just click here and then click into the style that you want, to the ID that to class that you want, sorry. And now all the settings went into the class. So I can go ahead and delete all these settings from the ID. Yeah, and everything will stay the same because I have all those settings in the class. Now, in every other page, I will add this same class, and it will take all the same space. The About Us will be white. Of course, it's not the same text, but it will be white, and everything else will stay the same. And let's go and see what else we're going to do underneath that. We're going to add 2 columns, and here is the text. So let's go here, setting, section, add, section, okay. Add 2 columns. Here is a text. Let's go for heading, not for text, because it's a little bit bigger. Let's go for H2. Okay. Established in 1995, and we have this text. Okay. Copy. Let's go here and add rich text. Triple click it. Select the text. Control A, V. Okay. Delete the space here. Put a little bit of space here. Let's see, visual, okay. And I think this is like a bold, and this is like a bold also. And it has some space underneath here. So this is bold. This is bold. Save and close, and we have something like that. Okay. Underneath that, we have another section that has 3 columns and an off-white color, as you can see. And we have some text here. Okay, let's go into the section and let's go and add another section. We have 3 columns. So add columns, and we have 3 columns. And here we have a heading, which will say this. And the mission is an H2. Okay, delete the space before. Okay, mission. It's not in the middle, it's in the left. Okay, so copy this and add some text. And let's put a little bit of space here. Okay, now that I have this, I will copy that into the next one, and also I have the values here. So let's triple click it. Let's not triple click it. Let's duplicate that, and let's put that heading here and that heading here. And here it says vision. Okay, triple click that, and here it says values. Okay, I'm going to type that, values. Okay, now I have a text. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put that here. So I have a text here, but here I have something different. It's an icon and then a text. So what I'm going to do now, going here, I'm going to click the values, and I'm going to add a div. And remember that I'm adding div because I want to change the stack inside the div. So inside the div, I'm going to add icon and a text. Before that, because I'm going to duplicate the div and I'm going to make 3 divs in total, I'm going to add a class. This is for your own good. Add classes whenever you can, and especially if you have something that you will duplicate that. So this is the About Us page. What was it? The About Us page, okay. So the class is About. Then we have, I don't know what section is this, mission. Let's go for values because we are in the values column. Values, row div. Okay, now that I have added that, I'm going to add an icon. and the icon should have a class also. So we are in the about, values, icon, and then I have a text with the class of about, values, text. Okay, now I can select the div and I can stack that horizontal, and I'm going to select middle because I want the icon to be in the middle. Of course, it's way too big to see it, but it went a little bit down, and I'm not going to change any of that. And then I'm going to select the icon, and what we have as an icon, we have a little bit of arrow. So let's delete that and see what it is. It's this one, okay, and of course the size is about 10 pixels, maybe 15, maybe 15. And I need some margin, sizing and spacing, and I need to put 20 margin on next to that, 10 margin. Let's go for 10. Okay, and then we have lorem ipsum something. Okay, this one. If you want to put in a little bit of more space, it's easy to do that from here. Okay, and I'm going to triple click it, sorry, not the icon, and want to put that in the div, and select the div and click it again to duplicate it and do that one more. After that, I'm going to select the div, the first div. It doesn't matter if you select the first div or not, but this is how it used to work. Because I have the class, I don't need to do that in the first div. Okay, class, and select it, size, and let's put a margin of 10, something like that. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, something like that. Okay, now I need to click the section, and I'm going into the background color of the section, and I'm going to select the off-white, and I'm going to save it, and I think we are okay. Of course, it's not the same color, but it's pretty close. So once I refresh the About page, as you can see, we have the About page here, and we have almost the same page. Of course, I don't like now that these are way too small for me. I think it should be a little bit bigger, and I think this is bigger, yeah. But I'm not going to change any of this because this is more for a course, a tutorial to see how you can create pages and how you can style those and everything else. This is something to get you started. So enough with the About page. I'm going to close this page, and next one is the services. And at the end, I need to also add here a button. Okay, so the one thing that I forgot to do also in the home page is check for the mobile view. So I'm going to do that for the home page now, and I'm going to do that next for the About page, because it's crucial to do that in every page. Once you finish the page, you should check it for how it looks for the mobile and the tablet view. Okay, so now that we are here, I'm going to click here, I'm going to open the structure, and I'm going to select here the page container like this. I think this is okay, we don't have to change anything. Now we're going to change that to less than 992, and here maybe you should change the text, but it's not, it's okay, we don't have to change that. Now as you can see, these are now stacked vertically, and now I need to put some space here, so I'm going to select here the div, and as you can see I have the class enabled, so I'm going to do advanced sizing and spacing, and I'm going to put a bottom margin of 20, and now I have the space here. Okay, everything else is looking okay. Now maybe I need to put a little bit of, to change the width, maybe to, I don't know, 50%. And it's not changing, probably because we have some ID width. And let's go and put here 50% and see if it changes. No, it doesn't. It takes the full width. So we're going to see why it does that. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to select the class again. And let's check first. We have the divs labeled. Let's go into advanced. Let's go in sizing and spacing, and let's see if I can change that to pixels and change that. Okay, let's see what we have in the old device, and in case you're wondering, you should always do that. You should see what you have here and then check that. So here I have a width of 31% for the page, and if I go and change that to 32, it will change. But if I go here and change that here, I have 50%. 50 pixels, but if I go to columns, we'll see that I have the stack columns vertically, and the page contains its 1200 pixels below, so I'm going to change that to 992. No, I am at 992, so I'm going to change that to 768, and now, as you can see, it changed to 50%. So I think it's a little bit better now. I don't want that to be in full width. And now if I go to the div, I can change that to let's go to 50%, what it was before. Okay, 50%. Okay, so now let's go to amazing things for you. Okay, we're good to go here, and we're good to go. And I think the gallery is it's a little bit off, but it's not too off. Let's go to less than 700, and let's see that these are looking okay. This should be a little bit less, smaller, not less. Okay, let's go for 20 maybe. 20, here should be 18, and maybe this should be smaller, but I'm not going to do that. Services are okay, this is okay. This should also go for 20 or something. This should go a little bit less, but this gallery is not looking too good now. So I can go into the layout and I can change that image per row to 2, I think. Okay, and let's go and see how it looks for the less than 700, and this should be changed. Okay, so now as you can see, the buttons are not so good, so I'm going to check the div, and I'm going to have them stack vertically, and I'm going to give a little bit of space, so sizing and spacing, and put the margin on the top of the button to be 10%. Now if I change that, it will change like a class, but I don't want to do that, so I'm going to select the ID now and change that for only this particular button. So let's go for 20, not the max width, sorry, the margin, 20 pixels. Okay, it's better. This is looking good, this is good, this is good. Okay, and this is good enough. Okay, so save that, and we're good to go with the home page. Let's close that and go to the About Us page and edit that with Oxygen 2. Open. Okay, About Us page. Let's click somewhere. Let's open the structure and click here, page containing less than 1200. They are looking good. Okay, everything's looking okay. Now we have going to 992. Everything is looking okay, and I think we are okay with that. Okay, and this is okay too. Maybe I could go for a title a little bit less, but I don't think that it's too crucial. Okay, save changing, close that. I have to wait for that to be saved first. And this is the service page. I'm going to edit the page. I'm going to bring it here. Is it saved? Okay, I'm going to close that because I didn't make any changes. Doesn't matter. Okay, the services open with Oxygen. And for the services, let's close the About page. The services is like that. So we're going to add first a section. And of course, the section should have a class like the previous section. So I'm going to add here, add a section, and this section I'm going to select the class. And here I have the pages title section like that. And here I'm going to add a heading. And as you can see, the heading is also white and in the middle. And let's change that to services. Services, okay. After that, we have 2 columns and 2 columns and 2 columns and an FAQ. Okay, so let's start by adding a section. Okay, the section now has 2 columns, so let's go and add 2 columns. Okay, the first column has text, service 1. add heading, which is heading 2. Okay, and since we are going to duplicate that, we should add a class. Okay, so we are at services. Okay, the page is services, the section is service heading. Okay, this is the class, and triple click it, select service 1. Okay, after that we have the text. So add text, triple click it, add the text. Here I'm going to put some margin, 20, something like that. Here I'm going also to add the margin, sizing and spacing, margin 20. And then I'm going to add a button. And the button is contact. I think the button everywhere is contact, yeah, contact. Control A, contact. Contact, and the styling of the button is home, like the services. Yeah, like the services, but with a different color for that. So I'm going to add here also another class. You can do that. You can add more than one class everywhere that you want, and you can style that class differently. So I'm going to just keep in mind that one class may overlap the other in some settings, but I think I need to change that class. No, I'm not going to change that class. I'm going to delete that overall because I don't want to mess the other class again. So I'm going to add services, because this is the service page, services, service button. Basically, we add the second class and third class if you want to add the same margin with other settings, and if we have some universal styling, but we're not going into so deep. So we have a contact which has a white background. So we have a button color of white. We have the text color to be this one. Okay, and the sizing of the button of padding is 40 and 40, and we have also some border. The border is one width, is solid, and the color is this one. Okay, and once we hover, it changes. Hover, it changes to the background changes. Okay, let's go for the background, and the background color of the button changed to this one. Okay, and the text typography changed to white. Okay, so change that to original, and once I do that, I can see that it changes. It needs just a little bit of effect, transition effect, 0.4 to do it smoothly, and now we are okay. So let's save that. Now that I have the service, I can now add the image here. So now as for the image, you can do it in two different ways. You can add the image as a background of the div, or you can add the image here. If you add it as a background of the div, you have to remember that the div doesn't have any space. It doesn't have any dimension. It takes the dimension of the elements that is inside, the margins and the paddings that you're going to put. And if it's like that, if it's columns, it takes the same height as this column. So once you stack those horizontal in a mobile phone, you will see that this will lose the height and you will not see the image in the mobile unless you set a height for the div, or of course a padding. So just keeping that in mind, or else you can do an image right here. So the difference is, of course, is also that the image can not take the whole space if it's not the ratio correct. So you have to remember that. In some cases, you cannot put the image and look too good. You have to do it as a background of the div. So let's go that and browse that and see what it is. It's the mountain with the clouds. Browse. Okay, the mountain with the clouds, this one, it has an alternative text. Select the image, it's like this, as you can see. And I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to select the div, and I'm going to remove the sizing and spacing. I'm going to select here for the padding to be 0, 0, 0, and 0, so it will take the whole column. Save that, and I think we are okay with the first one. So in order to do the second one, we're going to duplicate that. And before duplicate that, of course, I'm going to select the columns, and I'm going to add a class here. So this is the services, service, columns. Okay, now I can duplicate that and duplicate again. And for this, I have to go inside and select the divs. And as you can see, the image will go into the left for this one, and the others go into the right. So I'm going to grab the div here, and I'm going to put that on top. So now I have that effect. And if I go to the columns, I can go into advanced sizing and spacing and put a little bit of parking, like 40, something like that. Okay, let's save that, and let's go and put here the service 2, because it's really important. Here is service 3. And the images, of course, are different. We have here the called mountains, this one, and here we have the mountains with the people and the sunset. Okay, this one, it has an alternative text. Select that, and we're okay. Let's save that and see how it looks in the front end. Okay, services, it's pretty good. I think it needs a little bit of more space, but I'm not going to change that. As you can see, everything else is okay. And now I have another section to create, this one. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to add another section. For this section, I need the background color of white, this one. And we're going to start by the title, FAQ. Add FAQ. Add heading, triple click it, FAQ, select the section, vertical center. Okay, then we have this text, add text, triple click it, text, save. So now we have also some other FAQ. And the FAQ needs a little bit more style, but I'm not going to do exactly the same. So let's see what we can do for that. We're going to the helpers, and I'm going to see what we have to play with. So I have the toggle here. So this is the toggle. The toggle, as you can see, it says here toggle, and here's the text. Whatever is underneath the toggle, but exactly underneath that, not the second underneath that or another thing that you may have here. Whatever is inside exactly underneath the toggle is the one that will be showed once you click here. So if I click here, it will go and disappear, and if I click here, it will appear. Inside the toggle, we have the heading, which is this one. Okay, so this is how we have it at this moment. Now, as you will see, the colors into here are white, so we have a white color here. So I need to put that in a div and put the div with a background. So I'm going to click here and wrap it in a div. And now that I have this toggle inside the div, I have also to put the text inside the div. And now I can select the div, and I can select the background color to be white. Okay, now that it's white, I can go and select these services, and here I have something like that. So I'm going to triple click it and select that, and for the text color is something like that. Of course, this should also be everything. The div and the toggle and the heading and the text should be all with classes. So let's go and do that. Let's go for the div, and let's put here services, okay, FAQ, div. Okay, and now that I have the class, I have to copy the styling that I did from the ID, which was the color, to the class. Okay, and delete that. Okay, let's go to the toggle. I haven't changed anything, I think. And this has also a class already because it has a class, so you can change any other toggle that you have. So I'm going to leave that as it is, and then I can go to the heading and I can select the heading also. So here we have services, and then we have FAQ and question. Okay, and then select here, select the copy and paste, and then clear from the ID. Okay, and here for the text we have the services FAQ answer. Okay, so now that we are okay with that, I'm going to triple click it. I don't know why I say triple click it all the time. I just want to copy that. So I'm going to duplicate that and not the text, sorry. Let's close that. And I want the div to duplicate that, duplicate, and duplicate. What was it? 4 or 5 times? 5 times, okay. Okay, we have 5 times, so I'm going to close that to see how it looks when it's closed. And now I need to put a little bit of margin in under the div, a little bit of margin. Sizing and spacing, and let's go for 5. No, less. Something like that, because it has a little bit of line underneath. I think something like that. Okay, let's save that. And I need also to do a little bit of padding inside the div, so it will not go and close and be so close to the div. So let's go for 10 maybe to apply all, so it will be everywhere. Okay, something like that. And then let's go for the tag, and let's change that to an H3 or something. H2 maybe. H2, no, H3. Now this tag cannot be affected for the class, so I have to go and select it everywhere. H3, H3, and H3, because it's not a CSS, it's a HTML, and that's why it's not changing. And now that I have this, I can maybe add here a little bit of padding, margin, sizing and spacing. Margin, let's go for 20. Okay, let's see. And now, as you can see, once I open that, it changes the width, because it doesn't have a standard width. It takes the width of the element that is displaying, and I have to put a standard width so it will not change every time. Let's go to the div, and now that I have selected this div, I can add a specific width, but I don't want to put pixels because I want that to be automatically changed once I reduce the screen. If I put here 50 pixels, 50%, sorry, let's go for 80%, and I think it will be a little bit better, but it's way too big, I think, for that. Let's go for 75. Of course, I have to select to change it in the mobile view, but it will not look horrible if you forget it. So if you select a percentage here and if you forget it, it will look smaller in the screen, but it will not go and add a bar underneath here, with which Oxygen does that if you set a specific number for pixels and you don't change that for the mobile view. Okay, so I have now here something like that, which is not too good, but it's not awful. And let's see how it looks here. And once I click here, okay, I think I need a little more of space, so let's open that first. The closed one is okay. It doesn't have too much space, but I think it's okay. No, let's add a little bit more space. Let's go for 20 instead of 10 for padding. Let's add 20. Okay, something like that. And once I open that, I need some more padding for the text. So let's open that. And here I'm going to click the text. And the text will have, let's go into sizing and spacing, and we'll have a 20 margin for the top and 20 margin for the bottom. Save that, and let's refresh that. Okay, and now it's a little bit better. also I think this should be a little bit on the left, so this should have a little bit of margin, like 20 or something, 30, something like that. Save that, and now I need to go and style it a bit more. I don't have a quite good FAQ for the Oxygen. Of course, in the 3.7 they will give us a little bit more elements to play with, but I have to change some things also. I have to change the icons, I have to change the color of the icon. Let's go and change the color of the icon to something like that. Okay, and the initial state is closed, and toggle next is the next element. Okay, this is okay. Save that and refresh that. Okay, and close, 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 and close. Again, this is not copied because it's an HTML tag, it's not an CSS. And let's refresh that, and everything will be closed once it starts, and once you click somewhere it will open and it will show the answer. Of course, it's not ideal because I have to go and change some things. Also, I have to change the icon and I have to put it right here, but it's way too much style to do in this tutorial. So let's save that, and I think it's okay for this page. And this is the service page, and this is the one that we're going to copy. Okay, and let's see how it looks in the mobile, of course, in the other views. So let's go for here, we're okay, here we're okay, and here we're okay. Let's go to the next one, which is 992, and the services is like that. And as you can see, this is the service one, which is title and button, and here we have the image. Next we have the image and the title, and next we have the title and the image. So I need to go and change this order. So I need to go into these columns, and I need to change that to not be stuck reverse the column order into 992. So something like that. And the same into here. So for the column, reverse column order for 992. So now I have the image and next the text and the button, which is something that it's most close to what I want. So now I'm going for also the div, which I had a width of 77%, 75, something like that. And I'm going to put a little bit more. So let's go for 90%. And this is okay now. And let's go for less than 678. This is okay. But this should go to be a little bit less. Let's go like 20 and it's better. And then we have something like that. And this div should go 100%. Now 100%. And this should maybe be a little bit less, but I'm not going to change it. Okay, so everything else is looking fine. Let's close that. Let's close the service page, and we have one page to go. And of course, add next the button. So let's go to contact, let's edit the page, and let's see what we have for the contact page. So it's a quite easy page to create. Okay, contact, and let's edit that with Oxygen. Let's wait. Okay, add section. This section should go and grab the pages title section, and it says contact. Okay, add heading, contact. Next we have another section, and let's see what we have. We have a section with two columns, and I don't think they are 50-50%. I think it's more of 40-60. So let's go and add the section with two columns, and let's go for 40-60, something like that. Here I'm going to put the contact form. So let's go into the WP forms, all forms, and I'm going to grab the short code. This is the short code. Okay, close that. And let's go here and add here the shortcode, and add here the shortcode of the contact form. Okay, now that this is appearing, let's save that and see how it looks in the front end. As you can see, this is the contact page, and this is how it looks here. So they have some styling, they have made some styling with custom CSS, and we're not going to do all of those things. We're going to go into advanced here for the shortcode, and going to sizing and spacing, and we're going to put width 100%. So we have those width, and let's refresh the page here and see how it looks now. Okay, and this is how it was before, not before with the Astra, and this is how it looks now. It's not looking too good. And here I should probably go and style it. We have a feature to style that, and I don't know if it's something that you should see in this tutorial, but we'll see it in the end maybe. Okay, let's click here and let's see what we have. So we have the get in touch title. Okay, add for this div heading, and triple click it, get in touch. This is NH2. Okay, then we have numbers. Okay, so this can go into the div, and inside this I can also have divs. So I'm going to create a div for this. So this is a particular box, a different box from this, so I can have a different margin, and once I go and see how it looks in the mobile view, I can style it differently. And this is why we create divs. So I'm going to add a div, and inside here I will have a heading, and the heading should say numbers. And as you can see, this can take the same style as the other headings. So I can go and say that I want this to be contact. Then we have info heading, something like that. And I can go and put H3 for here. Okay, I can put here a little bit of margin. Okay. Here underneath that I can go and put the text. Let's open the structure. Okay, the text, and let's see what we have. No, I don't want text, I need another div. So let's delete that. And now that I have here the div inside the heading, I'm going to add another div, and here the div will be contact, info, div, okay. Inside that div I'm going to add an icon, and the CSS is contact, info, icon. And then I had the text. I'm going to add a text, which is contact, info, text. Now the CSS that I am adding, the class that I'm adding, may seem that it's a little bit more time consuming, but it will help you later on. So please do that. Do not wait until the last moment to do that. So let's go into contact, and as I can see, it also has a link here. So let's add the link also. Here inside the div, I'm going to add the link wrapper. And for the link wrapper, let's go and put that on top, and let's put the icon inside and the text inside. So whenever you click, even if it's in the icon or the text, it will have the link. So now I can select the div, and I can select that to be stuck horizontally, but as you can see, it doesn't change because now I have also another link with the another div with a link wrapper. So I also need to go and put the same class into the link wrapper. Okay. And let's see what it doesn't changes. Let's go and put that here. Here, no, it doesn't change. Okay, let's see why. Okay, the allow multi-line was the problem, so let's add again the class from the div. Contact info. Contact info div. Okay, now let's go to the icon and let's see what we have as an icon. We have a black icon with a phone number. Okay, so color is a black, and here's a phone number. This one, something like that, and the icon size is 15 pixels, maybe. Yeah. And then we have something like that, the general queries and the text here, which I cannot copy, of course. Here, okay, I can copy. So I'm going to triple click that, triple click it. Okay, it doesn't work. Control A and Control V, and let's go and put here and put a space, so it will delete the extra space. And let's go and select the icon, advanced, sizing and spacing, and margin. Let's go for 20, 15, something like that. Yeah, 15. Then let's check the text. Let's change that to black. Okay. And for the link wrapper, I should put here a tel. So this is a tel and semicolon and then the phone number. So by putting in the URL the tel, the mobile phone will now pick up the telephone number that you put here automatically. So once you're in a mobile phone and someone clicks here, it will automatically go grab the phone that you will put and get ready to dial it. And this is why you put here the tel, because this is a telephone. And here you should put the number that should go inside here. So let's grab that div and duplicate that. I think it has two numbers. Yeah, two numbers. So for the div, I have also some sizing and spacing and a margin of 20. No, not 20, 5, something like that. Okay, let's save that. And now for the div, this div, which is the whole div, I'm going to duplicate that. So I have the exact same layout. And I'm going back to here and I'm going to grab the email and here select that and put email. Also for this div, I should put here a little bit of space, and here for the email, let's delete that so it will not have too much space. Okay. Now I need to put a little bit of margin underneath the numbers. So let's put here a 5 pixels, something like that. And then I have a different icon for here. I have the info example, which is an info. So I have a different icon here, which is an info, like that. Here I have other text, okay. Let's delete the extra line. And now if I select the link, I should now change that to mail to and semicolon. This means that it's a mail, and if someone clicks it from a computer, it will open the mail program that they have, the Outlook or Thunderbird or whatever they're using. And if you click it from a mobile phone, it will also open the default email app. So the next thing is the same, I think. What it has is support. Okay, support. and here is like a support or something. I don't think that they have this icon. Headphones. Yeah, something like that. They don't have the exact same icon. Okay, I'm not going to add a custom icon. And now let's go and grab the div again and duplicate that once more. And for the last one, we have the business hours. Business hours, and here I don't need the icon, so I'm going to delete that. And I don't need also this icon, so I have that. And here I have this one. Okay. This one here, and Sunday closed. I should duplicate the div and not the link. Okay. Okay, so next one is I have a link wrapper for the text, and I don't need inside those three divs, I don't need the link here. So I'm going to grab the text and put it outside the link wrapper, and I'm going to delete the link wrapper. So now let's grab that and let's delete that. Link wrapper, delete that, and link wrapper and delete that. Okay, let's save that. And we're okay with that. Underneath that, we have a map. And this is what we're going to add. We are going to add another section. And inside here, I'm going to add a map. Google Maps. And here I have to put an address of something. New York. New York was the one. New York. New York. So we have the New York. And as you can see here, it doesn't look good from the front page. It looks like that, so I'm going to fix that. First, I'm going to select the element, the map element, and I'm going to select the height to be 400 pixels, so it'd be a little bit bigger. As you can see here, it's about 400 pixels, I think, something like that. Next, we have the size, which should be 100%. So let's go for 100 and change that to percentage. So it will go 100%. Then we're going to remove the, let's see here, I'm going to remove the space up and down. So I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to remove that. Next, the other thing that I have to do is remove from the section. As you will see inside the section, I also have a padding inside here, and I should put here 0. So it will go here and here. The padding will be removed. But as you can see, it doesn't go full width. Let's refresh and see how it looks. It's better, but it's not full width at this moment, as you can see. And in order to do that full width, I have to have the section selected, and here that says section container width, and I have to select the full width. So the container, the inside, will be full width of the page. So now let's save that and see how it looks in the front end. And now, as you can see, I have something that it's quite good. Okay. Also, as I can see, it's not colored. It's black and white, and once I hover, it has a color. But I'm not going to style that anymore. So that was it, and let's see how it looks in the mobile version. Let's see how it looks here. Okay, this is quite good. It's not terrible. Let's see how it looks in less than 992. Okay, so we have that, and I think I have to invert because I think I need the contact information to go on top, and next the information about how you can contact the business. So reverse column under 992. Okay, let's save that. And next, let's see how it looks here. Here it's looking okay, and here I have to go and put a little bit less in text space, like 15 or something like that. Okay, so I'm okay with that. I don't need anything else to change. Maybe I should change a little bit the padding here, but I don't think that I'm going to do that in all the pages, so we're okay with that. We have two more things to do. We have first to style the a little bit style the form and add the icon here. So let's first add the icon, not the icon, the button. Let's go to templates and let's go to add a new template. No, let's go to main template, edit the oxygen, edit with oxygen, and let's see what we have. We have a contact button, as you can see, that says take action, not the contact button, take action. So I'm going to add that. Once you hover, it doesn't do anything. Okay. So I have here a problem. I need to refresh maybe, but I'm not going to do that. Let's open the structure, and here we have the section, and here we have, the header. And in header, I'm going to click the Pro menu. So what I'm going to add is going next to the Pro menu. So let's go and add a button. Okay, that says take action. Take action. Okay, and this should have a color of this color, and maybe a little bit of padding, 40 and 40. Remember to be persistent about the styling in buttons and everywhere else, because it will not look good if you don't do that. And maybe give it a little bit of margin left, 10 pixels, something like that. Save that and see how it looks here. Okay, here. And here I'm going to remove some padding. I'm going for 10 and 10 maybe. Yeah, take action. And maybe I could also go and put the text size to be 15 or a little bit less maybe. Let's go for 15, doesn't matter. Okay, and the button size can go into 10 or something, maybe a little less. 5. Okay, something like that. Let's save that and see how it looks in the less than 482. Okay, it's quite good. I don't need to change that. Okay, so that was all with that, and let's close that and let's go into the pages. Let's go into the settings. In order to change the style of a third-party element, I have to go and enable the selector detector, which is in the settings into general. Once I go this and save that, I can go now to the contact page. I can edit the contact page. Let's refresh first to take all the changes. Okay, I can edit with oxygen. And it's not for beginners, and this is why I'm just leaving it for the end. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to select this short code, this element, and now I have a new button here that says Style Output. Once I click it, it says click elements to see the selectors. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to see all the styling. And it says here that I have an input. And now I can select and change the input. Now, keep in mind that if you select the input, you select the input for every input that you have for WP forms. So you also have to select the WP form shortcode, which is the WP form 5. And this means that you will, with that, you will just click it once and you will select only this particular form. It will not change for every other form that you may have in your website. So it's not very easy thing to have in mind if you're a beginner, but this is how it works. And then we have sizing and spacing, and we have a padding of maybe 10 and apply all, something like that, I think. Yeah, something like that. And then I have a little bit of background, and it's a little bit of gray. I think something like that. Not so gray. Maybe a little bit of transparency, something like that. I'm not going to go exactly that. I have, as I can see, a box shadow. I'm not going to do that. You can see how you change that. And now I can save that and then select another item like that. and style output, and here I have the input, this one, the text area, and select again the WP form 5. And now for here I have to go and select, is it selected, the WP form 5? Yeah, now it's selected. Okay, I have to go advanced again and background and put the same background color, and of course I haven't copied the color, so let's put something like that and something like that, and then let's go and put a little bit of padding of 10, so it will go like this. And then we need to change a little bit of the color of the button, not the color. So the color, I'm going to click here that, I'm going to style output, the text area selected, I'm going to click here the button, okay, and then select the WP forms again. It's selected now, it's gray as you can see, and then go to advanced, and what we have here, we have some sizing space, some padding. Let's go for 40 and 40 and 20 and 20. I think 20 is too big. Okay, 10, maybe 10. Okay, and then what is the color? The color is without any color, it's white. Okay, let's go into background, let's go to background color and put that in white. And then we have a border, and we have a border with that particular color, one solid, and the color is this one. Okay, and once I hover, it turns into that, and the text is going white. So I have that, I have the text color to be typography, and font color is this one. And once I change that to a hover effect, I'm going to change the typography color to white. Okay, and the background is background color of this. Okay, and then I need a transition effect, transition, and here 0.4. Something like that, I think. Let's change that to original, and the transition should go into the non-hover state, 0.4. This is where you should put the transition effect. Okay, and save, and I think it's better. Also, you can style whatever you want, and then you can also save whatever you change for the styling and save it like a custom CSS property and have it then be easier selected, but that's another tutorial. We are already 2 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, so let's save that, and let's close that again and see how it looks in the front end. So we have basically created a whole website. So of course it's not an ideal tutorial to create a website, just for beginners, and you can follow along and do everything that I do and start playing with Oxygen to create what you want to do. By creating websites, you will become better, of course, and you can build anything that you want later on. And I think I should create a tutorial element by element. I'm thinking of creating a tutorial for each and every element and go into deep for everything, for the styling, for the hover effects, for everything that it's on. I don't know, maybe I will create that. So hopefully you liked my tutorial. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. I don't know if it's more videos like this, but hopefully I will create some more videos like that. And thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.